Johnny Gold.
Hello and welcome to coverage of this second game. It's the turn of the open age to take centre stage, and let us run through the two sides. Starting first of all with Cumbria, where in number 1 is Jake Stockdale. On the wing, where in 18 is Jordan Staferi, and number 5 Lee Postlethwaite. In the centres it's Sam Jones and Leon Crelling. Crelling was excellent last week in the open age victory against Lancashire. Halfback it's Adam Jackson and Connor Saunders. In the front row, Big Johnny Goulding, Noah Robinson and Carl McBain. A back row of Matty Busher, Callum Nelson and Hanley Dawson, and a bench of Adam Kelly, Jason Graham, Jordan O'Leary and Josh Bayliss. For Yorkshire, they line up with Craig McShane, who was awarded the NCL Player of the Year last week. Gareth Blackburn on one wing, Sam Walsh on the other. Henry Turner and Sean G are the centres, with Nathan Slater and Danny Rouse at halfback. It's Sam Heppel, Danny Rushworth and Jamie Fields in the front row. Kieran Murphy, Elliot Morgan and Mikey Waite making up the back row, with Jack McShane, Keir Morgan, Brad Gill and John Elkington making up the bench. And straight away, it's Yorkshire in possession, tearing the way forward here, Paul.
Yeah, some fantastic footwork there at the line from this kid, 11, which is Kieran Murphy. I don't know, Kieran played for Barla when I was coaching Barla. Kieran was a very, very good footwork, good line runner.
If it's still turned off, yours, Paul. You're very quiet.
It's on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, got you.
Okay.
So here come Yorkshire. Yorkshire moving downfield. Kick comes in. It's dabbed in. Well taken at the back by Jake Stockdale. He's a young player showing promise as well, isn't he, Stockdale?
Yeah, Jake's a good player. His brother's a good player as well. I think his brother's gone to Oxford University. Very intelligent kid. Jake's comes through the Barrow Island Club, and they've looked after him. Darren Carter's educated him really well as a junior coach, and you know, he's just coming to the open age scene, and he doesn't look out of place. Very smart, intelligent player.
Real chance here for Yorkshire to set the standard in defence, really putting pressure on Cumbria there. Hanley Dawson tackled to the floor by Fields. There's a man mounting, by the way, Jamie Fields.
It's going to be big Jamie there. He struggles to get behind the ball. He's walking back there, and it's only the first set of the game. And you know, if they can kick and turn Cumbria and turn the Yorkshire side around, they've got a good chance at, of being physical and dominated field position.
Walsh with that carry. It's on the full-back, Craig McShane. Did well to cut forward. He actually was nominated for 12 Man of the Match awards during the last season. Phenomenal effort from him.
Yeah, definitely. Good player. Some good players out there today.
Rushworth moving into dummy half for Yorkshire. He'll shuffle the ball right, uses Rouse. Rouse has lost it. Cumbria picked up, and already the noise level's picked up, Paul.
I think the noise level was picked up, real good crowd here, and they'll really get behind the Cumbrian side. It's packed out in front of us here. Danny Rouse, very experienced half, played Barla, played for Great Britain. Good player, gets the team around, just getting on his hands on the ball for the first time there, and just comes up with that error. I think the pass was very strong from dummy half, bounced off his chest and went to the floor. So he'll be disappointed, Danny, but he gets over things pretty easy. Danny's very, very intelligent. He won't stop working for his team. Very enthusiastic and a very smart player.
He's been a great player for a number of years at amateur level, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely, and probably would have brought him in as a professional rank. He just lives that far away, and he's probably happy in what he's doing, Danny, and he loves the amateur game, and he puts a lot into it in terms of his commitment, and he's a good player and a good amateur, if you call it an amateur professional. His attitude's outstanding.
Scrums we've had here by Saunders. He was outstanding last week. Ball comes right amongst the back line. Jackson ships it on to this right hand side. Tackle comes in, however, by Blackburn. Vastly experienced back is Blackburn these days. Done a long stint with Siddle. That's big defence from Yorkshire.
Putting big numbers in, and it's very aggressive and control. Real good process from Yorkshire, and real tight defensive. Johnny Golden's come up with an error there, but Johnny Golden, very, very strong ball carrier, but they had big numbers in him. The line speed's real good. They probably could put a foil in Cumbria and play out the back of the middles and get to an edge, because they're real compressed, Yorkshire, but the conditions don't allow for that.
Yeah.
So you've got to play route one, and you've got to be prepared to grind. Probably a little bit of deception at the ruck would be a good thing, and little short-sided players, so, to make the short side honest defensively, and it helps you get out a little bit easier.
Is this where we say about shortening your game somewhat, given these conditions?
Yeah, definitely. But you can be expressive around the ruck, and you can jump up short sides, and You know, short sides don't like to come up, get a little bit lazy, not like the middle that have got to work overtime. And so if you can go up a short side, back on the middle, go up a short side, and just bob up an edge, you can make them be very honest defensively.
Here's Rouse playing it out to the right hand side. Chance here, a running chance there for Slater. I think he's been playing his rugby down at Skirley this year. Now he's fed down the right hand side. Chance there for McShane. McShane still bombing around, he's got to the line. Oh, he's not got to the line, it's double movement.
Double movement, but it does look though on the first play that he did ground that ball and it bobbled out on the bounce. But the referee's in close to the nose, and but he looked very, very lively, the fullback, doesn't he?
He did, yeah.
Outstanding effort from him. He looked very, very organised and sharp with the ball in hand, Yorkshire. Cumbria hasn't had a chance to play in the Yorkshire half yet, so we haven't got to see them and how they perform.
Still 0-0 in these early stages. You join us for commentary of the Open Age Three Counties Championship game. This one between Cumbria and Yorkshire. We're still here in Millham as the run comes in from Carl McBain. He was immense last week against Lancashire. Very,
very tough and honest Carl, very tough player, will not take a backward step, neither will this fella Johnny Golden. We used to call him Johnny Rambo. Been in the Barla setup for a long time, Johnny, and he's a shoe farrier, that's his job, very strong player. And this kid, Hanley Dawson, fantastic feet as well. But some fantastic defending from the Yorkshire side. Line speed's good, honest and disciplined.
I'm really liking the efforts though from Cumbria to try and play this game wide.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, don't forget they're into the breeze in the first half, so it's very difficult. So what they do in the first half, if they keep Yorkshire out and get to half time in the lead, it'd be massive for them, because we know how difficult it is to get out, with this win. So Yorkshire will have it all to do in the second half, but it's what Cumbria do in the first half to contain this Yorkshire side, going into the wind. Solid kick downfield, that was from Jackson. An excellent spring back into attack from Craig McShane. He's outstanding, isn't he? With the ball in hand. Here come Yorkshire. Next carry comes in. Over their own 40 metre line, picked up by Rushworth. Here's Jamie Fields. Gets through the first shot, spins, twists. Cuts down and run by Jamie. Takes a lot of people to get him down. Very deceptive in his carries, very quick for a big man. He's only played 11 games this season due to injury and other commitments. Yeah. But good to see him back on the representative situation. A big player, Jamie, inside your 20. He's very strong inside your 20, and he comes alive in that area of the field. So you've got to limit. He's looking to carry the ball now, just off a little pass. He has a little chat with his middle, the number 8. So they're just playing out the back here. Danny Rouse, little kick through. Oh, it's a good kick that from Rouse. Oh, really tough one to pick up, but they dealt with it really well there, did Cumbria. Good pick up off his bootlaces under pressure. It was an excellent pick up from Postlethwaite to finish the season well. Played 9 games in total. If you recall from last year in Fiji, he was the guy that he ended up breaking his shoulder. So it's really nice to see him back out there and playing representative rugby for his county again. Robinson out to Dawson. Dawson drops it back. This time for Goulding. I never asked him about his nickname, Johnny Rambo. We call him Johnny, that was his nickname. A big error. I'm not a big believer in nines kicking out a dummy half, especially inside your 20, unless you're established there. That's a poor kick, nose under immense pressure from the markers. The markers were set. He tried to get out and put a kick on, and he's just knocked it out on the full. So, Yorkshire look very dangerous with the ball in hand. They've got to set 30 metres from the Cumbrian try line. So they've just got to complete the sets, finish in the middle, let the pivots kick the ball on the front foot, let the hooker organise his middle on the kick chase, and just get your principles sorted out. So Rouse with the putting at this scrum. Flopping his arms, there is Slater. He takes control, drops it back over his shoulder to McShane, drifts across field, takes the challenge inside that 30 metre line. He'll play it. Running through the middle is Heppel. Rolled over on his back. Inside the 20 metre line, more crucially though for Yorkshire. Looking to set the standard. In runs Morgan. Good defence from the inside. setting up for players, but the play the balls are slow, so it allows Cumbria to set the defence. But Jamie likes to run the football. He attracts defenders. If you don't put bodies on him, he'll run himself. But he's got a lovely short passing game. Big threat now from Yorkshire.
Yeah, Mikey Waite towards the try line. He'll stand up and play to Rushworth. Rushworth does it back. There's Rouse, but gets disrupted. All on way to the referee. It's picked up by McShane. He'll be controlled to the deck in this one.
And that'll be back to one, Dave. Back to one. He signalled it, so.
Rushworth moves it infield. Here comes Murphy. Hurled himself at that line then, did Murphy. Rushworth calling for it. He's got a penalty.
He'll give a penalty off Kieran's let the ball go in the tackle, but I think there was a steal in there, so he'll give a penalty. So it's another set. So it's his second set now, back to back. So
Rouse passes wide. Oh, that's a lovely bit of footwork there from Slater.
From Carl McBain. Pulled off a fantastic tackle.
Now it's driven forward out of dummy half once again by Rushworth. Rouse has it organised. Gives it to Jamie Fields. Fields under the post. Opens the scoring, does Jamie Fields.
And he's virtually unstoppable. You know, it's his own game when he plays inside your 20. I know the game's not played inside the opponent's 20, but you getting one-on-one with the defence is such a big bloke with good footwork and leg speed that it's very difficult to keep out. And that the third set off the Cumbria's goal line, just back to one, back to the middle edge, and then they pushed away all the way through the middle.
Well, we saw a perfect example of that footwork and that will and want to get over, didn't we? There.
Yeah, and that's what he's good at, Jamie. He's a big boy, and he kicks goals, and you know he's a footballing number 8. You know, the old-fashioned type, but it's very difficult to put down. If he gets players around him, he can tip the ball on. But when he gets one-on-one, he'll just run over the top of you. Very difficult with the size of him and the speed. He's not just big; he's quick as well, and he's got all the skills.
So Fields opens this scoring. Now he's got the chance to convert.
I'm impressed with this Yorkshire side. They look very disciplined, don't they, and defend real hard. But Cumbria haven't had any field position at all in their opponent. I don't think we've seen one set off the Yorkshire goal line, so we don't know about the numbers, how they defend the goal line, whether they're vulnerable. We haven't seen anything like that at the moment. So that'll all change in the second half. So it's how Cumbria deal with being behind. They were behind last week. They come back to win, so they know they can do it. And they know in the second half at this game that they'll have the chances to do it because of the conditions.
And to be honest, it was Lancashire, I think, right at this stage last week with 10 points to the good, so that's a really good check, that Paul.
Yeah, definitely, and they've got a lot of lads in there. I know them personally, a lot of the Cumbria lads, and they've got grit and determination and spirit, and if you think you've got them, they'll come back and bite you. So it's never over till it's over at this level, and especially with the conditions, because it's probably a 10-point win really. I think you need at least 10 points in the first half, Yorkshire, to be ahead of Cumbria, because they'll get the chances to play.
Well, that 10-point advantage at half time was crucial in the last game, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's it may be a 10-point win in terms of if you can get points on the board.
So here come Yorkshire, building from deep. Crucially, they'll be hoping to hang on to it. We've seen examples already this afternoon, haven't we, of sides not being able to complete the set after scoring points.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of experience in this Yorkshire side. They look organised and they've got natural width even on yards. We're looking at them now, player 3 they can play, the pivots are pushing the ball, they're going to play now. Danny, smart, intelligent kick early, maybe could have got it behind the winger and put a bit of boot on it. There's a penalty there I think for me, but he's let it go.
Yeah, did well there, Postlethwaite, took the ball in, took the tackle as well, as high as it looked from Sean G. Brave run from Stockdale.
A really intelligent kick from Danny, kicking on player 3. He limits the errors out, doesn't he? He turns it round. They've got the win behind. We didn't see that in the last game. It was last tackle players, desperation, whereas that was measured. Probably too measured from Danny, but the right idea.
There's Dawson. Looks a good kid, this Dawson.
Hanley's a good kid. He can play a little bit. I think his dad was Peter Dawson, played for Great Britain as well. A very, very good back row player.
It's Goulding, comes forward to the 40-metre line. On the left it's with Saunders. He drills his kick low into the corner, finds a good touch as well.
And I think that's intelligent from Lee. I think it's from some Saunders as well. I think his side needs a rest. They defended magnificently and only conceded that one try, but again, field position is key, and they'll put the scrum down and defend with a structured, measured defence, and it's much needed. You can't keep dropping the ball on this full-back. He'll absolutely destroy you, this McShane. He looks a real handful.
Is it Ulverston that Saunders plays?
Yeah, he plays for Ulverston. I think the splits here is wrong for Cumbria. They're off a 20-metre scrum line and they've gone 4-2, so they're very vulnerable there if they want to shift the ball, Yorkshire. So they might pick that up later on. It should be 5-1 on a 20-metre scrum line.
So that's putting 2 players down the left-hand side.
Yeah, they put too many on the short side and left a few on the open side. So if they pick that up, there's a chance to get round the outside of them on the long side in future scrums if they pick that up.
Is there a chance here for McShane? Dabs his way forward. There's nothing to him. He's like a real small player.
He's got a real low centre of gravity. He's got some fantastic leg speed and he's strong, so he's difficult to control. He stops and starts, but he's just really busy.
Rushworth that dummy half. There's a penalty here for Yorkshire. Ball seemed to be squoze out from the grasp of Heppel.
Yeah, and again, it's a poor penalty. These officials are straight on it, aren't they? In any ruck infringements are on. It's just a minor infringement, and he's straight on it and give a penalty. And the game's kept clean and quick.
Here come Yorkshire again. They're up by 6 points. Remember, the early converted try from Jamie Fields. Run coming in on that occasion from Mikey Waite. He'll play his ball to Rushworth. He passes for Rouse. Rouse plays it out the back. Heppel's the short runner.
Any movement from Danny, he's passing and moving. He's back in the slot now, so they can bring it this way if they want. He's always organising. They're a big threat. He is McShane again. He's like a ping pong ball.
He is, yeah. He bounced through a couple
machine. He's like a pinball ball.
Bounced through a couple of tackles there as it comes to Fields. Fields plays it out the back. Rouse all the way out to this left-hand side. That's Kieran Murphy.
Outstanding football from Yorkshire.
Rouse gets it back.
Outstanding. Great play from Jamie Fields through the middle. There's a different option he's got when he wants to play. He can play as well. Kieran Murphy, great feet at the line. Danny Rouse passed, moved, support. That's what a good pivot can do, and walked in off the back of Kieran. He doesn't support that play. Yorkshire don't score. Sign of a good classy halfback. Cumbria look like they're in a little bit of trouble to me. Yeah, they're looking for inspiration. They're difficult to get out on yardage, and the game could go away from them if they don't watch the cells here. They've just got to control it, slow the rucks down, put numbers in, be disruptive a little bit at the rucks, and try and get some bodies in and organise the defence a little bit better off the goal line.
So Fields looking to try and add this conversion. 17 minutes gone. 10 points to nil in favour of Yorkshire.
Yeah, and it's a bit slow. Nobody's got the ball for Jamie, so simple conversion, I think, here, Dave, isn't it, for Jamie? He knocks these over, doesn't he?
He's a quality goal kicker.
He is
absolutely quality points machine. He's got the wind at his back as well, crucially.
Yeah. I think things will change in the second half because Cumbria will get some field position. It's like it's a damage that's getting done at the moment. They're sapping a lot of energy, they're defending a lot of sets, which will get them later on in the half. Maybe change up from the bench, which they're going to do, I think, very shortly now, which will give them a bit more energy, because if they leave this side out too long, they'll fatigue massively and they won't recover. So it's about changing up, whether the scoreline's taking over against you, it's about changing up, keeping them fresh, or else you don't lose it later on with fatigued bodies. So I think they're going to do that. Gary Yu is a smart coach, and he's just changed a couple of them now, so it's a little smart move from him.
Fields
and Johnny Golden's coming off the field, so Johnny's a big miss but a very fit guy, and he'll go on and do a job later on.
10 points still is how it remains. Jamie Fields was unable to convert. He gave him the kiss of death.
I did actually. I thought it'd be an easy back heel for Jamie.
So on the back of that try from Rouse, can Yorkshire complete? They've been good coming out of their own end, albeit with this wind assistance.
Yeah, they have, and they've been smart. They've kicked early, they've run off the rucks nice and tight. The pivots pull off the ball and give them width. Danny's hasn't got the ball, look, he's giving his side width. They're just setting up play now, and Danny's pushing them and playing. It's a little bit narrow, but again, they're full of running, aren't they? And the footwork's real good from them. They're getting wins, and they're really easy getting up to the 40-metre mark, and Cumbria have got to get an early chop in, and they're getting so many wins that they're causing Cumbria a lot of problems on the ruck, and it'll eventually lead to a penalty.
Well, Heppel's made a great start to the game as a little chip comes in over the top. Tell you what, it's a good kick. He's kicked it forward again. Picked up here by Postlethwaite, who just had a little bit of open pasture in front of him for a second, quickly closed down by Murphy.
Yeah, very confident play from the 9 there, he kicked the ball.
Rushworth.
Yeah, great little kick, but kick chase was real good. Unlucky with the ricochet really, I think it could have gone for him, and but it didn't, but well picked up by the Cumbrian winger. But very, very difficult for the Cumbrian side to get out of their own half here, and I don't think we've seen one good ball set inside the opponent's 20 this half.
No, we haven't. Will we get an opportunity this time? Not on this play from Postlethwaite. Tackle 5 metres in from touch. Last tackle. Ball to be played into the middle. Jackson keeps it moving. Dawson keeps it moving as well. Saunders, they're running this.
I think he's got one more, Dave. I think he's got one more play.
I just thought for a second the referee had his arm up on the last play. Here's Jackson. Much more organised.
Yeah, but again the kicks are just up to the 40 metre mark. You know, it's very difficult to kick you out of trouble, so they're back in again now. You just got to grind, knock the ball out if you can, earn your team a little rest, because if you're going set for set with a team that's got the ascendancy and had loads of ball, there's only going to be one winner. You know, you're going to concede tries.
Shane bobbles his way through a couple of defenders again, comes down this left hand side with Waite. Big collision there with Bailey Dawson. Hadley Dawson, sorry. Infield to Fields, who dummies. Sergi's on. Up towards that 20 metre line again.
Yeah.
Rushworth at dummy half, feeds it right. Good work.
Nice and measured, isn't it, from Yorkshire? Nice and controlled, good width on the breakdowns. Jump up a short edge, or they've got that long shift if they want. They set up both sides, which is good on early plays. So they've got that short side option and the long side option if they want to jump over the long side. So pretty hard to defend again, especially when you're fatigued. But a little error there, could have been a try in the corner, but there was a little error on that right edge that allowed Cumbria to try and get the way out of their own half.
Yeah, chance went to begging there, I get the feeling, for Yorkshire as Nelson plays it. Cumbria still deep inside the half, that'll help though.
Yeah, massively. They needed that, didn't they? You know, they were struggling to get out of their own half. Carmel Dane's done big minutes, and maybe he might get a rest in a minute because they've left this pack on for. There's only Johnny Golden been changed up here, and it's been a big ask for him to look at that ball's just gone probably 5 metres there, but big ask for the forwards to sit out in these conditions and grind for long periods. Just change them up and refresh. Don't lose your team due to fatigue.
So Cumbria trailing by 10 points, drive in. It's that man McBain again. He's an outstanding forward. I thought he was brilliant last week against.
Yeah, he's real tough, Carl. Comes from a real tough family as well.
Dawson, 3 hands, out to the 16, Jason Graham.
There's a steal there, so I think he's given a steal, yeah. It's a rip. 2 in the tackle and he ripped the ball, so it's a good spot from the referee.
Got to say that Jason Graham was also very, very good for Cumbria last week in the open age game against Lancashire. Remember, heading into this one, Cumbria held the Aces in front in the 3 Counties Championship by the 4 points and the victory that they gained last week. They'll go on the attack again here. Run out of dummy half by Robinson. Slips it back. Here's Boucher. Falls to the challenger field.
It's disjointed. The pivot, Adam Jackson sat behind the back of the ruck, if you can see now. So he needs to pull off and create a width on one side for his team. He's push and support the ball real early. They put a little play on here. If Adam gets the ball in his hands, if he gets called for it, which he has done.
He'll drift down the left. Links it with Saunders. Saunders out the back there to Stockdale. Tries to step the defence as well, does Stockdale. It watches him like a hawk. That's the centre, Sam Jones.
Last play, let's see if he can add some pressure with a decent kick. Short side play from nowhere, there he goes, kicks the ball.
Oh, it's a decent kick, that. I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad at dummy half, it's productive. Turn the ball over a metre from the goal line, you have the ball where you don't want it, but then again they've got this fella here that's got tremendous footwork and strong, and straight out to the 20 metre mark on player 1.
Yeah, McShane will play it on that 20 metre mark. It's from forward out to dummy half. Big collision heading his way there by McBain again.
Flew out a lot of numbers to the tackle, but the process is poor. 4 are coming off at once like a flower opening instead of a peel. So again, big massive kick to the 10 metre, great chase. People have got to get back and help this kid here, because Elliott, because they're going to have to try and run the way out here early because Yorkshire are very aggressive and they're sending big numbers in defensively. That's a penalty.
It is. High tackle on Jordan Staferi.
Yeah. I think if Cumbria just get a little bit of a grip on this game, they've got another pressure relieving penalty here and get some field position, they've got a chance of putting points on the board. They've got some strike in the team, some good footwork players there. So, but they just haven't had any field position. That kick's probably gone 15 metres into the wind. Very difficult to get out.
It just shows how difficult these conditions are.
We can't emphasise it doesn't look too bad from here where we are. It probably look too bad on camera, but it's very difficult to get out. The flags are bending in the corners, and you can see this kid's come on and done a real good job offensively on his carries.
Yeah, Jason Graham with another strong carry. Now it's opening up with Jackson onto Dawson. Dawson tackle just over that 40, or heading towards that 40 metre line. So halfway. It's brought right. Jackson through hands. Busha gets rid of it quickly. Good defence there on Krellin. He was the danger man last week.
I think both sides have defended real well. It's just that they've had some repeat sets Yorkshire and they've been clinical in their attack and they've had the right people at the right time carrying the ball in the right areas, and that's been the difference.
Graham will play it 30 metres out from the line. And he'll play it to Robinson, who slips it left. Saunders launches that kick. It's a good kick. Jones goes for it. Then it's up in the air.
I think it come off Sam's foot there. I think it'll be a turnover and a scrum down, and it's a Yorkshire heading ball. But he's unlucky there. He got up and caught the ball, but he was pulled back and he hit his foot and went clean into touch.
Been a prolific form this season, by the way, as Sam Jones, as far as Barrow Island are concerned.
Yeah, he's a good player, Sam. He's been around the block a little bit. He's been in the Barlow setup and the twos and that for a long time. Very smart, very quick as well. Good attitude and very athletic. Never lost that physical side of his game where he's let himself go. He's a natural athlete. 26
minutes gone. 10 points still in favour of Yorkshire. They're in possession now, inside their own 20 as Rouse picks up. Skims it left. Good defence by Cumbria. It's punishing.
You can just see the momentum change when they get that Yorkshire side down the area. I mean, he might give a knock on here, and he has done. And it's just rattled Yorkshire a little bit. It's the first time they've had to cope with pressure in their own half, and they've come up with a couple of errors. They haven't kicked early, they've carried, and they've come up with another error there that's allowing some field position. So probably this is the first real set inside the 30 that we've seen Cumbria do, so we'll have to see if they've got any structure that will cause Yorkshire any problems.
Sean G, who coughed up possession. Cumbria feed the scrum. It's out of the back with Saunders. Saunders feeds it out wide to Stockdale. Stockdale just decided to duck forward, take the challenge. He's put down on the 30 metre line, just to the left of the post. Jones picks up out of dummy half, buys his side 10 metres, loses it on contact.
Come up with an error there, so we tried to offload the ball when really should have just gone and got a win and got a quick ruck. And again, it's player 2 and turning the ball over 30 metres from the opponent's goal line. A little bit loose when really you've got to understand that you're under a little bit of pressure to retain possession and play in the opponent's half and get to the end of the set, try and get a repeat set. But if you turn the ball over there, you're just going to feed Yorkshire some field position, and we've got some quality players there that will punish you.
Well, here's Jack McShane. He's on the field, he's on the ball, and he's passed it out to the right hand side where the tacklers pile in. One of them was Callum Nelson. And it's taken down that right hand side. Oh, it's a great run from Slater. Superb run from him. How much pace has he got?
He should have played though, didn't he? If he don't score here,
and they haven't scored.
If he don't score here, the coach will have something to say about that. He's got a bloke screaming on the inside of him. It's a try all day long, and he carries the ball for himself and tries to score himself. So it's a great play, but again, it'd have been better for him if he'd have finished the play off.
Cumbria live to respond. Trail by 10 points to 0. That's another solid surge forward by Jason Graham. 25 metres from the row line here. The Cumbrians doing it tough. Adam Kelly's on. Hometown boy. Ball dropped back here for Busha. He's been prolific in his amateur career, hasn't he, Busha?
Yeah.
Both as a centre and as a back rower.
Yeah, he's a very strong player, and there's some good players here that could step up to the professional game easy, but work commitments and stuff like that, especially in Cumbria Rugby League, where we're desperate for some of these lads to sign professional, and you chase them for a long time. I think Johnny's Golden has been touted now, maybe for working and people like that, and you know, and a lot of them don't want to do it, don't want the commitment to professional rugby when they can go on tour to New Zealand, Australia, and you know, and it's a small world now, Dave. You know, everyone's got a chance, and we've got some good sponsors at levels of rugby league that allow these kids to go and play, you know, in the southern hemisphere. So sometimes you don't even want to be professional.
Well, potentially in 12 months' time, we could be talking about another Bartlett tour down under somewhere, couldn't we? So
yeah, definitely.
And a lot of these.
It was absolutely outstanding experience. One of the best experiences of my life to take a team down there. It was outstanding.
Here's McShane, passes to his left. Surging forward again here, Yorkshire setting the position, 30 metres away from the try line. Rouse has called for it on his left hand side, puts it high, it's caught the breeze. Postlethwaite does well to collect that. Does equally as well to stay in the field and play too.
Yeah, great catch, but great discipline from the defensive side, who could easily have caught him in the air and give a penalty away. I think it was measured, but a fantastic bit of skill from the kid to catch the ball there under immense pressure, and real difficult for Yorkshire to get out, but they're trying the best. They're full of tenacious running, but they're up against a black wall of, you know, of players that want to knock 10 bells out of you, and just like that, three in the tackle there. But the process from Yorkshire is real good.
Kelly moves it left, kicks coming to complete it from Jackson. Wasn't too happy with his connection.
No, very difficult.
McShane takes it. Oh, he's lost the ball on contact. They picked it up again here, Cumbria. Chance for them to march downfield.
And that's a big bonus to stop that kid. I think Bufe's hurt his shoulder on that collision. They're eyeing each other up now. Bufe's having a look at him, and he's carrying again strong, this kid. And again, a strong carry straight at Danny Rouse. He'll get a win there, which is allowed to get a quick ruck.
And it's brought right back into the middle of the field. Dawson done a lot of solid work in the middle so far in this game.
Real good shape from Cumbria, middle edge, and shifted the ball and shortened the line, and some real good passages of play, and the move in Yorkshire all over a little bit. He's got a bit of ascendancy, Cumbria. They're starting to feel the way into the game and make some inroads. They probably could do with a penalty now that'll give them another set in this half, or a good end of set and a good chase and an error from the Yorkshire team.
There's Jackson working it wide. Popping up in the line there is Krellin. All held by 2. Got a stoppage here though.
Last players in the field, so it'll be real measured, structured defence and a kick chase at the back end set. Difficult to get a good kick away when it's a controlled, end of set play.
Well, we've finally seen a couple of attacking plays that have come in and in good field position here for Cumbria. It took a long while for him to build the way into it, but it took him a long while in the first game to build the way in.
Yeah, I think with this though, Danny's been cute. He's kicked early, and they've limited Cumbria to field position, and they've got like a 10-point lead. But again, they've blown a chance in that corner there, in the right-hand corner, which was a try all day long. But the kid never passed the ball, so he might live to regret that play there when he's clean through and he's got support. So again, we'll end the set play from Cumbria. I think I was
Dawson
5.
Across to Saunders. Saunders out to Jones. Jones, big handoff comes in. Now he straightens up. He's inside the 10-metre line. This is the last tackle. What have they got at the end of this set? Saunders dabs it through. Chase is good after it. Oh, it's been picked up here. It's another set of 6 coming up here for Cumbria. They'll move it right.
And there's a handful running with the ball, isn't he? So
he looks a real good player.
He's got some great footwork.
Liking his efforts.
The ruck's real slow, so they've managed to organise themselves real well.
Saunders takes the line on himself, tries to brush his way through. Has the ball taken off? There's 2 there.
Yeah, there's 2. Kieran Murphy there pulled the ball. Initial contact from inside, and then Kieran stripped the ball, so that sustained pressure from Cumbria. There's nothing wrong with being down this end of the field and just knocking some sets out, penalty after penalty. They'll just drain Yorkshire. They've got plenty strong wind, Cumbria, so the more time they spend down here, the better. Doesn't matter if they don't score, they've got a chance to score, but field position is key.
Jason Graham, that was going close. Now they're out amongst the back line again. Saunders, short ball, picked up by Yorkshire, however.
And that's what you don't want there, isn't it? To come up with a poor error on play 3 off the corner's goal line. Sometimes you can go too wide too early instead of just shortening the line, playing between 2 points through the middle, and then just getting them on split pivots, on the back end of the set.
Last carry there for Yorkshire was by Elkington. He's from Milford. The under-17s are playing there tomorrow. Not at Featherstone Rovers as previously advertised. Forward is brought through the middle again by Brad Gill. That's good yards from Yorkshire, getting over halfway.
They punch out field real well on every set, haven't they? They haven't needed to kick early on that play, and a real smart play again with the boot. Turns Elliott around. Elliott's pretty smart though, he'll find the floor real early. Elliott, a little bit of a high shot there that's been let go, but again, strong play from Elliott Stockdale.
Stockdale plays it, infield it's moved. It's Stafari. Pushes away from 2 tacklers, then doesn't find much purchase through the middle.
He's a bundle of energy, isn't he?
He is a bundle of energy, yeah.
He's got some quick footwork and strong carries.
Well, I've got to say, after seeing the state of the pitch at Lee Miners last week, it's nice to actually see some footwork being able to be effective.
I think it's a great venue for rep football or any kind of football on here. It's a credit to Jimmy Borden, who looks after the place, and he's very protective of it, but he puts his heart and soul in it. Jimmy was a fantastic, like I say, Barla centre, and could have been easy being a professional rugby player.
There's Jordan O'Leary down that left hand side for Cumbria. Last tackle has been reached, still inside their own 30. Kick comes in from Saunders, seem to rush it, and we know how difficult it is to kick into this breeze. Gained about 10 metres that. Yeah,
I'd like to see how Danny Rouse operates with this wing, because he's a fantastic field kicker, and I want to see how hard it really is, or will he give us a masterclass in the second half, because that's when he'll have to step up. It's very difficult. We've seen pivots from Yorkshire 19s and Cumbria 19s and now Cumbria Open Age really struggle with the conditions, kicking into a strong wind, whether it's field position, whether the rucks are slow, but we're just not getting the kicks away.
Yorkshire back in possession. There's Sean G over the 40 metre line inside the Cumbrian half. Rouse out of dummy half will pass to the left, and this is Murphy. He's ran strongly in this first half.
Yeah, he's got some great feet, Kieran, as well.
John McShane feeds it right.
I think Cumbria's defended real well. There's just a couple of instances where they haven't. But what Yorkshire does is be very, very patient. Danny will be on the ball now, on the little sweep play.
And it's out down the right hand side. Slater through hands. Oh, and it's put down out wide.
Yeah, I think he looks a little bit hesitant, the winger on that side.
Sam Walsh, he's not really got into it, has he?
No, he's snatched at the ball. Maybe one of these where if he makes an error, it compounds an error. Some people aren't comfortable when they don't get over it, and he looks a little bit hesitant and flat. He's not cutting a line that comes onto the ball. There's plenty of space. If he cuts a little inside line and goes out again, he'll actually go onto the ball to catch it rather than running away from it and reaching for it on his inside. So square up a little bit of footwork in and out, and he probably would have had himself a couple of tries.
Last few minutes of this first half, Cumbria trailed by 10 points to 0. Yorkshire scoring both their tries within the first 17 minutes. Really have fought their way back well here, Cumbria. I've won the penalty, which will help them get downfield.
Yeah, and it's another pressure relieving penalty. They probably need to get on with this, and if you can get it, Adam Jackson can kick it.
It's could land right on our heads. In fact, no, it's gone nowhere near. It's kept it low. It's awful.
Shocking kick. It's put his team massively under pressure just before half time, and this kid's like we call him the pinball man. He just bounces off everybody, and he's been outstanding this first half.
I'm glad I get to see him at close quarters, Craig McShane, because he was just coming through at Hunslet when they were going through the divisions.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. First time I've really seen him in the flesh, and he's a running full back. I don't know what he'd be like if he plays, if he's got to play and find a pass, maybe something he needs to work on his game. He needs to be on his bike early and finding a side. They're going to go right here with him out the back.
And that's where it goes. McShane picks up. That's Jack McShane. Gets it back. Ball on this right hand side.
He looks lively as well.
Slater getting it wide. Ball's gone loose again.
Let's give a penalty. I don't know what the penalty's for actually.
What's he going to signal here?
It's very difficult to see from that side of the field what happened there. It was either a shepherd or obstruction, something. I think they're contesting it. I think Sam Jones is contesting what's been said there, but
certainly asking the question, isn't it?
But it's difficult for us to see what it was. There's been no signal to actually clarify what the infringement was for.
Ripping.
A ripping is give a rip. The word we've got is a rip.
There's Elliot Morgan on the charge for Yorkshire, 5 metres away from the line. Blackburn's called for it down this left hand side. It'll come down this left hand side to Rouse. Gets it back again, does Rouse. Feeds it out the back to McShane. McShane hits, spins, twists, gets through one. He is that proverbial pinball.
I think he is there, but there's a little I thought there was a little obstruction in that play, and I think he gave himself up there, but then he made the best of it. Kieran's got great feet and difficult to stop in that situation.
Couple two, difficult to stop. He has got it down, has he?
No, he's held him up there. There's no way he can give that try. I think he got underneath him. He did real well. He's gone to the linesman. The linesman hasn't give it. But it's the referee. He might override him. I don't think he got that down initially, but he's give the try. This linesman on this side disallowed it because he got onto the ball and he rolled out. It's difficult to see, but I thought, it's a dubious try. But the linesman said no, but the referee said yes.
Stretches the Yorkshire advantage just before half time out to 14 points to 0.
Yeah, definitely. I thought they've been value for money as well, Yorkshire. I think they've been outstanding.
He's been lively as Murphy, especially.
I think they've got some key players in key positions, haven't they? They've got, the full-backs outstanding. The two halves are real quick. They've got strike on the edges and lads that can play through the middle. So, just call it balance. They've got a real balanced team. They're good on yardage, they're disciplined, they're smart on yardage, they kick early. They've been smart in everything they've done. Cumbria have had sustained periods of pressure, but when they've had pressure off the goal line of Yorkshire, they haven't come up with any real questions asked, really. The end of sets have been poor, they're a little bit flat, the pivots are playing off the line, and at the moment the ascendancy is all with the Yorkshire.
So it was Murphy with the third try. 14 points now. We've got a changing kicker. We know Jamie Fields out there at the moment.
In added time.
And the way that everybody's lined up, it would suggest that this will be the final kick of the half.
Yeah, we'll get a rest and a warm, Dave.
Do with a cup of tea.
Never mind a cup of tea, we need a hot water bottle.
Just inside the clubhouse
even mixed
here,
cold.
just inside the clubhouse here, there is a decent radiator, so I think we're going to sit on that for 10 minutes.
I won't.
It's Blackburn.
A little bit of it wasn't strongly struck there, Dave, was it?
No, not
right on the bell. It's a killer blow right on the bell, but I thought, I think Cumbria have defended strongly, but I think they're just a little bit more class in the Yorkshire side. Strike, maybe not class, maybe what we call strike in certain areas. Kieran Murphy got that ball down. There's only Kieran probably could have scored that try with his footwork. Great player, Kieran. He come to Australia, Kieran, on tour with us. When we toured Australia with Barla, he's got good pedigree, really strong defender and fantastic feet.
I hope you enjoyed that first half. We're going to go in for a quick warm and join you in 10 minutes time.
Just leave me freezing, you're alright.
No problem, Terry.
What happened to summer rugby?
You're on, Dave. That quick drive. Hey, sell yourself, Craig.
Yeah, it worked very well. I don't think they know. Oh, big lad.
Right, we'll be back on.
Hello and welcome back to second half coverage of this Our League presentation this afternoon. My name's Dave Parkinson, delighted to still be alongside Paul Crary. Paul, it's not got any warmer.
No, it's got colder, Dave.
It certainly has, yeah. You're a different breed up here this time.
Yeah, I've got my t-shirt on and you're wrapped up, but no. I mean, this is a mild day up in Cumbria, especially at Millham. It gets windy. We're right on the beach here. You can't see the beach, but it's just over the back of us here. So, the wind whistles through. We've got some cover from the stand, but if you look over, the flags are, I think it's died down a fraction, but I think it's got colder. But if we look at the England flag over on the right there, that's how bad it's blowing. So it's been difficult. We've seen pivots from three teams struggle with the wind, try to kick out. So, what I want to see is if Danny Rouse, who's a quality half-back, see if it troubles him or see if he can manage his team around, because I think Cumbria will have a little bit of a sniff at this game if they can get a try. There's nothing in terms of points in it, and even though Yorkshire have been the stronger side, momentum and home advantage could be a big factor in how this game goes at the back end of the game.
I think we've seen another really good half of rugby given the conditions. I know we don't want to labour on them, but they are a part of this, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think the standard now of amateur football, the lads are in good condition. there's not a lot that aren't, the odd exception, but the skill levels are good. The shape and structure of the coaching now, is outstanding, and probably a lot of these kids could step up and play a Championship 1. They play at a good level in the NCL or at club football anyway, but they're just so professional in their approach to, and I've coached at this level, and the lads are so passionate and dedicated, and and the commitment is unbelievable, and both these sides have had a good run at it. It's just that there's a little bit of quality in this Yorkshire side in key positions, and it's just showing a little bit, but again we'll see with the weather conditions how the Yorkshire side handle being under a little bit of pressure themselves.
We've got 40 minutes ahead of us, and it's Yorkshire who lead in this one by 14 points to 0. Scoring 3 tries, crucially that one just before half time. Wonder how much of a bearing that will have. Just a reminder of how both these sides lined up so far. Yorkshire was Craig McShane at fullback, Gareth Blackburn, Henry Turner, Sean G and Sam Walsh in the back line, Nathan Slater and Danny Rouse at half back, Sam Heppel, Danny Rushworth, Jamie Field started the game in the front row, Kieran Murphy, Elliot Morgan and Mikey Waite made up the starting lineup, and for Cumbria it was Jake Stockdale, Jordan Stafferi, Sam Jones, Leon Crallin and Lee Postlethwaite. Halfbacks were Adam Jackson and Connor Saunders. In the front row the starting player was Johnny Goulding, Noah Robinson and Carl McBain. Back row Matty Vusha, Callum Nelson and Hanley Dawson. And it's Cumbria making first use of possession in the second half, and again an example of that line speed that served Yorkshire so well.
Yeah, and it's a process that's good as well. Markers set, split markers, controlled A's, very difficult to play against when there's a good process. Again, 3 in, leg chop out early, again set markers, split markers, and again Yorkshire struggling, Cumbria kicking from their own 20, which in amateur football is a real good thing to limit your opponent to 20 metres on yardage.
Well taken by Sam Walsh down this side, who had a mixed first half, it must be said. Here's McShane, he was excellent, bounces out of 2 more on the halfway line. He's still twisting and spinning and turning. Eventually Cumbria commit the numbers, which prevents him from moving forward. Brother Jack McShane feeds it right. And again there's good numbers in that challenge for Cumbria. Leading the way there was Jordan O'Leary.
They've got little players all over, haven't they, Yorkshire? They're holding off shape. Danny's back and instructions, Danny Rouse's back and instructions out the back. Again, they look to that little play and they hold the ball through the middle, but the support play, Rouse there, supports, reloads, pulls off, gives himself a short side attack if he wants it. He's just supported the ball and he steps up and gets in a position to kick the ball.
Oh, that's a really tricky kick for Jake Stockdale to deal with.
And again a measured kick really, wasn't it? It wasn't just a hit and hope, it was and that's a penalty from Danny. He's given a penalty away.
Yeah, he's lost control of that tackle completely.
He does, and he tried to upend him, but again, good measured kick, and he didn't have to do that, but pressure relieving penalty. And again, this time Adam Jackson kicks it nearly 30-40 metres, and they'll get some good ball this half. It's what they do with it, and if they can put a dent in this Yorkshire side, who have been real good in the process defensively.
Well, that's certainly an example of the difference, that going the other way.
Yeah, definitely.
Shows,
kick the ball, a little bit easier to kick the ball when you're not under as much pressure, and it doesn't have to be as measured. You can just hoof it and just find touch.
Johnny Goulding with that first run of the set. Now Dawson out the back, short ball from Saunders onto O'Leary. O'Leary crawls his way to halfway. In at dummy half is Kelly. He'll send it left. Good movement that from Cumbria, but the mistakes been made.
Well, you've got Andy Dawson who's had the ball in his hands trying to play twice, and the pivots have got to step up and create the space so that the middle can stay on the middle. Hanley's there, passing the ball to the middle, then finds another pass. He reversed that because it come off the hand of a Yorkshire player, so he's reversed the decision. But again, the pivots have got to get their hands on the ball rather than the middle pushing themselves to an edge to create the space on an edge.
Let's see if they can do just that in this set. There's Jones, appended, stopped on the halfway line. Kelly checking what's on down the right hand side. Goulding's there for company. Big surge forward from Johnny Goulding. Been outstanding for a number of years for Cockermouth. He'll play it to Kelly, who sends it down the right hand side. Short running play from the second row down that side. Good run as well. heading towards the 30. Slow rope throw. Down this left it comes. Jackson. Now it's out amongst the back line. There's Stockdale again.
2 players to go. See if Yorkshire can defend it. They need to probably put some passes together and create a little bit of mayhem in the defence. It's a little bit structured, isn't it? And one out.
They're to the 20. Here's Saunders. Saunders through hands. Jackson fires it wide. Here's Krellin. Flicks it out. Referee's already ruled it.
There's a little knock on there from Krellin, wasn't there, on the floor? I think the ball just come out, so it'll be a turnover. So now we've got a chance, Cumbria, to contain this Yorkshire side and see if they can put a kick and see how they get out of trouble.
Well, first up defence from Cumbria is good. 3 put into that stop. Jack McShane passes right. Through hands it comes out to Elkington. Good numbers committed.
Yeah, good numbers, good process as well.
I was going to say he was a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a little bit probably the mark is a little bit tight, so it allows that space to get inside Hayes, which was that little pass there that got him. So again, over an arm's length. This kid's dynamite out of dummy half. That could be a penalty, but he's let it go. It's so difficult.
Oh, has he lost that ball? No, it's a penalty.
Give a penalty. He could have given a penalty for the high shot, but I think he's given a penalty for the rip on that play. 2 in the tackle, but I don't think there was. I think he's making up for the last play where he got a high shot.
Really enjoyed watching Craig McShane play. He's box office, isn't he, at this level?
Oh, he's outstanding, yeah. He's a great bowler, and I don't know what it'd be like as a footballer if he had to get round and sweep. You understand? You know, if he has to be a ball player, he's just an out-and-out runner out the back, but he's so prolific in his running and difficult to stop that in itself would be a struggle to contain at any level, really.
Fortune has favoured Yorkshire there. The kick wasn't the most convincing from Rouse, and to be honest, Postlethwaite funneled back, but the ball slipped through his hands and ended up going into
which is unfortunate really. It swirled around and it come off his hands and it could have gone anywhere, but it just went out. So this is a big test for Cumbria to hold Yorkshire out.
Comes out and goes down the right side. Slater throws it to himself. He's off, he's Slater. He's off, he's Slater. He's through.
He's quick.
That was a beautiful piece
as well. I think they got, I don't know if it was a 4 split there, but that always allows the pivots to run and get over the top of you, because you defend narrow and have to go out and you struggle on your inside shoulder to defend, and they got beat on the inside. That's something you should never do from the scrum, get beat. Defend the run first, and then when they play, you defend the play. So a soft try really from an error, and puts Yorkshire fully on the front foot in this game now.
Excellent fleet of foot, however, from Nathan Slater. Scored 14 tries during the regular season for his side Skirler. That makes it 18 points to 0 with this kick to come.
Somehow Cumbria's got to get a foothold in this game and just probably grind, get some processes going, grind some sets out, try and get a little bit of a foothold in the game, try to get back in the game, and at the moment they're not doing that. They just look a little bit disjointed. Pivots need to probably step up a little bit more and get the ball in the hands, support the forwards and play a little bit more, whereas Hanley's doing that for him. He's playing as a pivot at 13, and then you're losing that running threat through the middle. So go back to getting the pivots on the ball, creating the width to the edges. When the edges break down, pivot to middle as well. So you're making the Yorkshire time be honest and pulling them out a little bit. But a good slotted kick there from the player. So 20 points to zip, and it's a mountain to climb now from this position.
It's a good advantage that for Yorkshire. 20 points to 0, as Paul mentioned there. 4 tries to 0. About 10 minutes of the second half gone.
8, sorry. Not far off.
Ball on the halfway line. We will have a ball on the halfway line soon.
I'm just struggling to see where the points are going to come from Cumbria, unless it's from a kick, because at the moment they're not really creating that much to put points on the board, whereas Yorkshire they've got a running threat in the halves, a running threat out the back, and they've got back rows and centres that can put some lines, and it's difficult to handle.
They look very well balanced this year, don't they, this Yorkshire side?
I'm very impressed with them. I watched the the game last week where Cumbria come from behind against Lancashire, but these are a different. I know they've got to be squeaky clean again. It's a soft penalty, you know, when they've got Yorkshire inside their own 20, and to give a penalty away for a ruck infringement is real poor.
Well, this one's coming right our way.
Miss me.
It's behind us, fortunately. God knows where that's gone. Almost waiting to be hit on the back of the head with that one again.
Yeah, it's come off the roof, stanchion.
Yorkshire back in possession. Jack McShane at dummy half. He'll pass in field. Slater opens it out. That's the number 15, Kean Morgan. He gets over the 40-metre line. First touch I can recall for Kean Morgan. Now they'll surge to halfway through Elkington.
Good footwork from Kieran Murphy there, just little short side, blind side runners.
Gill lost the ball.
There's a little bit of a rip in there, but they've got away with it, and like I say, it's much needed for. Look, he's looking at the far linesman. The players are looking for the rip, but he's not going to give it. The far linesman is give the rip, but the referee hasn't spotted it. The players are asking for him to look, but he's not interested in that.
Well, the entire Yorkshire bench leapt up then.
Yeah, they did, and I think that's what influenced the linesman to actually flag it up, but he said no, it isn't. I'm just going to go on with the original decision.
Can Cumbria apply some pressure? They're trailing by 20 points to 0. Here's the Ferry. He'll play it still inside their own half.
You just lose the middle. When the middle start going at the ball and they're playing the scrum lines, you lose your middle. Your forwards go at the middle, you get real narrow, you get dominated, and then when you're on the breakdowns like on this edge, you've lost the middle with Carl. Look, he's having to go back on the inside. You've got two middles to play with Saunders here, so you haven't got a lot of players to do anything with.
Oh, it's not a lot of space to play with there either.
No.
Somewhere it comes up for Cumbria, down that right hand side, playing a bit of offload. Here's Dawson. Dawson drifting off down the right hand side.
He's had a good game, hasn't he? He's been all over the place.
I've seen a Dawson. I haven't seen much of him, I've got to be honest, before this series.
He's full of running, isn't he? He's a fit lad and looks after himself.
On the 40-metre line here at Cumbria, taking down the short side. Kick comes in from Jackson. He's hoisted it high. Oh, sensible take there from Kean Morgan.
Yeah, it's a good kick though from Adam, wasn't it? You know, it's a real positive kick, good chase, real compressed defence, and they can get Yorkshire in all kinds of trouble if they work hard. But you've got to have a process. You can't have three in the ruck and then come over and leave everybody on the floor, or have no process. You've got to get bodies into a process. But they're so strong on yardage with the carries, Yorkshire, that it's very difficult to get any kind of process.
Those are the thoughts of Paul Crary. Delighted to have you alongside me, delighted to have you along with me for the ride on this Our League presentation as Elkington drives for the 40-metre line. Yorkshire still in possession. They're up by 20 points in this one. Jack McShane has an option just to his right from Murphy. Rides that challenge, gets an offload out to McShane. Here's Slater. Slater full of running.
He was looking for the cut there underneath him. He was asking the player to come in, but it was real late. It had got him for the cut underneath him. There's a huge hole he could have gone through.
Here's Rouse. Keeps his kick low. Comes off the boot of Saunders. He's got to shuffle back for it.
Not a bad kick from Dan. At least it was on the floor, and he had to go down and kick it. But again, everyone's finding it difficult to kick the ball. Got injury here. So the Cumbria man, we can't actually see who it is at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's Saunders. I think he was the guy that went down for it.
52.
12 minutes of the second half gone. But yeah, the longer this goes on, I'm sort of backing you here, because they've not asked any questions really, have they, down in the 20-metre line so far?
No, I think the pivots are played off the line. The middle's going to the ball, so the middle goes to the edge, so you lose your middle. So if you hold your three middles, which is your loose forward and your two props, and you don't let them go in the scrum lines, you can attack down the short sides with your centres, your second rows, and your pivots and your full back. But on the breakdowns, you can go back to the middle and they can play from there. But what you've got is your forwards will go at the scrum line, so you lose your middle. So on breakdowns, you have to stay on that little pocket, and you've got no width genuine width in your team. Whereas Yorkshire, they're doing it. Danny Rouse is pulling off the ball on the breakdowns, they're picking up the middle. Jamie Fields has proved that when you run the football with support around the middle, but they've also got that short side attacking threat as well. as long as you hold good shape, and that's probably been the difference between the two sides. People are frustrated from the Cumbrian side and going down scrum lines, and then they're losing all shape, and on breakdowns they've got no real players on the back of that. So you're looking for 20-metre sets really to get your shape, where you've got split pivots and a middle and an edge rather than general field.
In what you're saying and how you're describing there then, Paul, it's making it quite easy to defend against.
Yeah, definitely, because everyone can just compress the defence, and probably your attack's a bit null and void as well. So what you haven't seen is any clean line breaks or passing interchanges between your middle, your pivots. Actually, your 13 Hanley's been doing that really, the job of what the pivot should be doing.
How do you change it though?
You put the call on that your pivots have got to get the hands on the ball and just say to your middle, don't go into the scrum lines. We're going to hold our middle and pivot, second row, centre and full back, and we're going to sweep around the edges, on breakdowns. We want that option to play through the middle.
We have Cumbria still in possession, 40 metres from their own line. Wanting a penalty, it's not forthcoming as Kelly slips it out. He's had something to say as well.
And that's Noah Robinson. Yeah, he's given a penalty for dissent. He's shaking his head, but you can't do that at any level, can you? He's pulled him in. Noah's got his back to the player, but you can't do that. You cannot. He's told you once that there's a little bit of an infringement of the ruck. You're not going to get it. You've got to move on, but he didn't, and the referee's paid the ultimate price. He's given a penalty away for his side, 40 metres off his goal line. And when field position for Yorkshire is paramount, really, they need field position to put points on the board. They're not going to go 100 metres on today, so there's another attacking set for the Yorkshire team.
We've got some middle rotation as far as Yorkshire are concerned. Jamie Fields and the starting prop Sam Heppel have gone back on the field.
Yeah, and it's a good time to bring Jamie on. And if you look at Yorkshire, they just hold the middle pretty well. The middles are in the middle, so they've got a big threat. They're playing off a pass to get to the middle. Look, they've loaded the middle up again there. So they've got a genuine middle and a short edge if they want to go down the short edge. So they'll cause some trouble on this play. They've gone short, but then they'll go back on they'll hold the shape, and there's the big money play on this play.
Morgan is tackled 2 metres out from the line. Slater's organising. Shoots it out to field. Now Rouse out the back. Stepping run. Cutting into that line. Deeper into the line as well from Morgan. 2 metres out. Asking the questions here at Yorkshire. He comes in field to Fields. Has Fields got under?
No, it's held up over the line, but good shape from Yorkshire, just middle edge, always causing problems, always asking questions. Big Jerry on the ball, very difficult to put down. Again, good shape across the team, running threat, and a nice
That's a great kick.
An outstanding play from Danny Rouse. I thought it was a real good set from Yorkshire from start to finish. Well measured, good shape, good structure, middle held the middle, kick at the end of the set. Don't have to score, but did, because the kick was outstanding and the kick chase was real good as well.
Rouse is such a clever halfback. He just weighed that up in the fraction of a second, slid the kick through, and Slater it was.
Well, you probably count on one hand how many times he's got caught with the ball, but he just passes and moves, supports the ball well. Very intelligent player, but the middle have held the middle and the edge are there to pick up the pieces or have a shot at it, go back to the middle, have another shot, go back to the middle, and that's what they've done real well. That's the difference between the two teams.
57.
And I think the game now is beyond Cumbria. I don't think they've got that many points in them, and I think maybe Yorkshire have got a few more points in them.
24 points to nil with this kick to come, and Fields having taken his position back on. So Fields taking his time. Slots the extras. Tell you what, it's going to take a good effort from Lancashire if they've got any hopes of lifting this.
Well, they're going to have to be a good team to beat this team, because they're a well-balanced team. They've got some special players in special positions, but they're well-balanced, and that's the difference. They can hit you from anywhere. They can hit you out the back on a sweep runner. The full-back's a tremendous ball runner. They've got a big middle that can play. They hold the width, and they've got an outstanding half-back as well that's very, very intelligent. But I think Yorkshire, after watching last week's game, are the team to beat.
So 6 points to 0. Kick goes long from Cumbria. Can they apply some pressure? There's another stepping run forward coming in over the 20-metre line at the start of this set. And there's Heppel, loses the ball.
Yeah, it's a good collision there from the 16. I thought he's had a cracking game since he's gone on.
Jason Graham.
Yeah, he's had a real good game. He's tenacious. He wants to carry the ball. Not only did he put a good shot on, he's there carrying again. On the transition. On early plays, put his big shot on, then wants to carry the ball as well.
Here's Kelly, drops it back over his shoulder. There's running from old Leary inside the 20s. The best field position we've seen this second half as far as Cumbria.
But just very, very flat, and they've jumped up a short side, and
they've actually done quite well though.
Yeah, they've done quite well, but they've got a great back line. They've got 3 off a post, no 4-man, and they jump up a short side. Instead of being patient, it's a play for yourself, that play. They've got a repeat set out of it, but they need points on the board, which they would have had if they put a big shift play. They had Yorkshire all over the place. They had them on numbers on the left side, Cumbria's right, and they jump off a short side. And that's communication really between the halves and stuff like that, and decision making from the 9. It was kick out a 9 as well again from Noah, which is sometimes you've got to have a call for that so everybody knows what you're doing.
Rouse to drop out from underneath his own post, sends it as long as he can. He's played off the boot of Kelly, who picks up.
Kelly's been lively as well, Dave, hasn't he? He's gone on and done a good job for Cumbria. Pretty lively kid.
I think now he's out to half-back as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got his hands on the ball and he's pretty strong.
Tackled there is Bayliss. Inside the 20 he goes. Can Cumbria come up with some points? Well, how he runs like that from Graham.
I think he's knocked on. He's knocked on early plays.
Just got under in then.
And just nothing's going right for him. I think they're a little bit frustrated and aren't they? And I think with the game going away from a little bit, everyone's trying that little bit harder, and everyone's trying to do their own thing a little bit now rather than stick to a system and a plan.
Time's ticking down here. 26 points to 0. Yorkshire lead. In the company of myself, Dave Parkinson, and Paul Crary this afternoon. Really enjoying your company as well, by the way, Paul.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm learning loads. You're telling me about post defenders and looking for numbers. I won't be able to look at rugby league in the same way after today.
One of the players understand it there. That's a big
tap taken here by Fields. Tries to sneak one.
Yeah, we just got to kick it out, haven't they? They've got plenty of. They've got scoreboards in their favour. He's going to carry, but again, could you probably carry it 50? Could you kick it 10 metres? Probably could.
He just fancied a drive, I think.
Yeah, he'd get his hands on the ball, Jamie.
Here's the 13, Mikey Waite. He's been solid.
Yeah, they've been good. I think Yorkshire have been good. They've been, like I said, balanced is the word we're looking for.
Rushworth plays it out to McShane. Gets past 1, gets past 2, still twisting, still spinning. He is an awesome runner.
He reminds me of Russell from the play at Warrington. That's what he reminds me of. He probably at a higher level might have to play a winger because if he hasn't got the ball skills, but he's definitely a running threat, first and foremost, isn't he?
Definitely.
I don't know what his passing game. This kid's impressed me as well. We've talked about Danny Rice, but he's a fantastic bowler. Number 6.
Yeah, Slater.
Yeah, he's had a great game, a good running game, big threat with the run.
I believe this is only the first year that he's been playing half-back as well.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, his kicking there wasn't the greatest, but he's a massive running threat.
Previously played a lot at full-back as well for Mighton. Good movement.
Tony Spence's team, Mighton Warriors. Tony's been a coach there for a number of years. I think he's moved on now, but he's done a great job at Mighton.
Here comes Graham over the halfway line for Cumbria. Robinson jogs into dummy half, kicks it low, kicks it into the corner.
Again, kick out dummy half, 20 metre restart, 7 tackle set, not the greatest. I like my halves kicking the football. They're on the front foot. It keeps them on the front foot. It keeps everybody on side, and everybody knows that the halves can kick it. If a nine's kicking it, you need a call, whether it's a 9 call that the dummy half's going to kick, so everybody's on the right wavelength.
In essence, they're in a better position as well, aren't they? They can judge where the defence is coming out.
Kicked the ball 3 or 4 times today, which nothing's really come off for him, and that. But again, if you're not getting any call from the pivots, who have been pretty quiet, if I'm being honest, then maybe you've got to check it upon yourself to kick.
Danny Rushworth in at dummy half for Yorkshire. They're on their own 40-metre line. Oh, that's juggled. They've got to regain that, to be honest.
He's done an outstanding game, Kieran Murphy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. It's like a circus act then, the way he tried to take that ball back in. Rouse turns it back in field. Big handoff comes in from Morgan. Still cuts his way forward. He's lost possession. Cumbria have the ball. They need points though.
Really solid defensively, haven't they, Yorkshire?
They have, yeah. Callum Nelson had nowhere to go, despite picking that ball up well. Here's O'Leary, he's been pretty lively. Ball's gone loose, he's been ripped out. There's no penalty. Yorkshire play on, they'll feed it down the right.
It's a great tackle from Sam Jones, a real good tackle.
Try saying written all over that one, I think.
Yeah, definitely, he'd have gone. Quick kid as well, just read it real well, Sam.
There's Turner. 45 metres away from the try line here, Yorkshire. Rushworth will feed it left. Heppel through a dummy, then decided to carry it forward himself.
Some massive efforts from both sides through the middle, on a tough day. And some of the carries from both sides have been outstanding, really.
There's another good carry, just as Paul was saying, from Waite. He shuffled his way inside that 30-metre line. Comes to Rouse. He plays it off left. Oh, good defence. That was some smashing defence that for Cumbria. It's forced a turnover, and it's Stockdale on the charge forward.
Yeah, real good play from Danny. The thing with Danny Rouse is he only steps up when he wants to play. He's comfortable letting the forwards and the 9 take control, so he can actually see what's going on. It was a drop pass there, but I can understand what he was trying to do. I think it was just another little turn-up play where he hits the second middle and he turns it up to lead runners, and it creates all kinds of problems. And it was probably just the execution was a little bit hard on the catch, but I thought Cumbria on that play defended it real well as well.
I've got to say, Paul, after watching Great Britain this morning, it's nice to see a 7 that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit unbalanced, isn't it, the Great? I haven't watched the game, but everyone's telling me, what it was like, but I'll watch it when I get home. I've recorded it, but I just...
Sorry, I don't mean to...
It doesn't matter, but it's just a little bit unbalanced. I think it's 26
points to 0, currently in favour of Yorkshire.
Just Cumbria in possession. Remember the crowd what score it is.
Yeah, there's Heppel, he's got the ball back for Yorkshire, so they've got a chance to add further points on.
Yeah. It's come a bit scrappy these last 5 minutes, hasn't it? Somebody needs to take control. Again,
ball's gone loose again.
Ball, so it's dropped ball, the other side gets it, drops the ball, the other side. So we've gone through a period where we've had 4 sets where there's been no control, and it's just early errors that have spoiled momentum of the game.
Got to say though, I can't feel my hands, so
And me, I've got that warm thing you paid £1 for, best pound you've ever spent, Dave.
See, I like to look after my guests.
We need a lid on this gantry next time then.
13 left, Dave.
13 minutes remaining, 26 points still in favour of Yorkshire. Cumbria in possession, but they're definitely at the wrong end of the field, definitely on the wrong end of the scoreboard. Josh Bayliss.
There's been a lot of effort from the Cumbria side, Dave, hasn't there? Just probably a little bit of guile, and if you look now, the pivots are real tight round the ruck, so they've got no natural width. Kicking under pressure, probably one of Adam's better kicks, but again a little bit easy for the fullback to return the ball.
This fella's been pretty good, hasn't he? This Kean Morgan, since he's gone on.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, there's been a lot of big efforts out there today.
Rouse passes right. Good
Probably
defense.
been a big effort last week for Cumbria to get the win and come back from Lancashire, so to do it again is a big ask at this level, and just a lot of quality in this Yorkshire team.
Well, you're enjoying the coverage this afternoon on our league. It's been good having the thoughts of Paul Crary alongside me today as Fields plays it off. That pass looks a little suspect. No one said anything.
No, that was Bushy with another good tackle on that edge. He's had a good game today. I think he's been solid out there, and put some good solid tackles in, and he's carried the ball real strong.
Last tackle here. Ball goes up in the air from Slater. Jones comes for it. Good take from him. Sets off on a run. Counter attack gains 10 metres.
Yeah, I think a little bit of miscommunication. Sam's having a little go at his own team there. Something happened and somebody didn't help him out, or he wanted to pass the ball on the catch, but it didn't materialise, so he had to take one for the team there.
Here's another guy that's took plenty for the team.
He's been outstanding, Graham. Absolutely outstanding. Been very, very impressed with that kid.
He was excellent last week, to be honest, over
he's full
Lee
of
Miners.
running, and he's not, with the scoreline against him, he's putting hit shots on. He's carrying the ball real strong. He's loading up again on this play, and he's already carried, on one play.
Well, chip over the top.
And that's
comes
a great
in.
kick. That's probably one of the best. This kid's quick.
Crines after it. Goes loose. Oh, was that picked up cleanly?
Fortunately, no, there's a little knock on there from the Cumbria player, so this will be a scrum. Fortunate for Yorkshire, but there's a bit of enterprise, and I think that's the only way this Cumbria side's going to open this Yorkshire side up with a kick or something unorthodox that they don't expect. The systems are good and the processes are good, so if you drop the ball over the top, then the alarm bells will start ringing, because it's something that hasn't been done to them and they haven't planned for. When they kick the ball like that, little chip over the top by I think it was a batter or the centre that did it, so they weren't ready for that. So again, I think time's ticking for Cumbria, but you can get some pride back by getting some late tries on the board.
Inside the last 10 minutes now, 26 points to 0 Cumbria trail, and it's Yorkshire back in possession. Driving play over their own 20-metre line. Sean G.
Got real narrow Yorkshire, so they're just going to play up and around the rucks and nice and safe. Probably the first time they've really got narrow. Danny's not pulling off the ball. Both pivots are around them rucks, so they're just going to play out a dummy half and play nice and simple. There's Jamie Fields carrying.
They've earned the right to do this, though, haven't they? Because they've
penalty that against him. Noah Robinson again penalty. Initial contact wasn't from him, but he slid his hands in. Again, we know he's throwing his head back, and he's just going to get on with it and be disciplined and takes things a little bit personally, and you can't do that. You've got to move on real quick. Here's Jamie, second carry.
Oh, that's a huge carry.
Again, good leg speed, sucks defenders in. Plenty of width, can attack both sides. Yorkshire, good shape early on in the set.
Almost 20 metres made with that carry. Now it's shuffled left. Move through hands onto Rouse. This time the defence cuts him off.
The short ball was on there, Dave. The defender had gone past the ball, so there's a chance, but he should have hit a short player with a short lead.
Infield he comes again to the 16, Gill. Strong running from him. Just 15 metres away from the line. They go down the blind side. Is there another score here? No, with defence like that, that's an outstanding play there.
Yeah, it's good play, attacking and defensively, really, because they had good shape. They had a big cell on the open side, but they had that little option of everybody playing up on the short side. So it was just too narrow, really. It was probably a 2-on-1 split on the short edge, and Cumbria got across and fixed it up. But the idea is there to create shape on both sides on early plays, and that's what they're doing.
Into the closing stages of this one. Yorkshire still lead by 26 points to 0. Hope you enjoyed the coverage this afternoon via our league. With sort of the game as it's gone, who are your standouts in this one?
I think Graham. I think it's been outstanding for Cumbria, Abusha as well. They've been the two. I thought for Danny Rouse, the full-back, has been outstanding. Some good performances. I think 9 and 6 Slater, I think it's been outstanding for Yorkshire. Kieran Murphy on that edge as well is a threat. I just think that the Yorkshire team are just a little bit more balanced. Been some good individual efforts from Cumbria, standouts through endeavour and effort, but technically, probably the Yorkshire side are just edging it technically as a team.
We're just starting to lose the light a little bit here as well, aren't we? It's getting a bit murky.
Yeah, it is a bit, and it's probably warmed up a little bit there with that cloud cover. Or is it just me? Or have we just got hypothermia and you get warm with hypothermia? It has.
I think we've just gone past the point where it hurts anymore.
Yeah, I'm starting to warm up, so we're taking my jacket off in a minute. They've enjoyed it though. It's been two good games, even though there's been a blowout here on the scoreline. Cumbria haven't given up. There's been some massive efforts. There's just a little bit more class in the Yorkshire side, and like I say, balance.
It's Teferi. He's been game as well, hasn't he?
He's been good, wiry. He's been wiry.
Robinson shuffles it left.
Johnny Golding, Johnny Rambo back on the field and carrying strong. You know, I'd like to see Callum Nelson. He's just gone on and he needs to be carrying the ball a little bit more. When you're a bench player and you come on and you try and you want to influence the game, make sure when your team's getting beat that you carry the ball strong and you work overtime defensively and try and give your side a lift. And I don't think that's happened this afternoon for the Cumbria side. I don't think we've had that influence when we've had some change-ups.
There does seem to be some younger players that certainly Cumbria can build upon for next year, doesn't
definitely, there? There is some great kids knocking about in Cumbria. It's like Stockdale, I think he's just hit he's been in the open age a couple of years now, come through, watched him play team football for Ireland, pushed into the first team now and then playing for Cumbria, and Saunders as well. He was on the academy programme at Barrow and he's pushed through and he's become a good player and he's playing county football, and it's a massive step for these fellas. And you forget you've got Kieran Murphy, who's an established, been on tour, and Danny Rouse, tourist, and you've got some players there that are established that probably run the game, and players on the other side. Johnny Golden's done that, but he's not in an influential position where he can dictate the play of the game, whereas the other players are.
So the game's going to get back underway. Cumbria still in possession. Saunders a dummy half. Plays it out the back. Dummy comes in from O'Leary. He's well caught though. Continue to bring it forward. Goulding plays it off. Chancing their arm a little bit, but they coughed up possession.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got Johnny, who's a front rower, going down like we talked about in the scrum lines, trying to play, into narrow spaces when he's a middle. Really, you need your half-back dictating that play, playing to a pass to your edge, then playing to a pass back onto your middle. So you drag the defenders all over the place. But when you got your middle go to what you call in the trams, it just gets a little bit messy.
Here come Yorkshire again, playing out down this right-hand side. Morgan. Scrappy ball, dropped on though thankfully by Turner. Lost a bit of space there, however, did Yorkshire. Kelly was all over the top of the man. Ball into the middle with Mikey Waite.
He's had a strong game and he's gone about his business, but there's another soft penalty there. I think that was Carl McBain that gave that away, but there's frustration going to creep in. They're looking down the barrel now of a defeat, and they probably play again. Carl is a good strong defender, is involved again.
Mikey Waite runs forward again. Sorry,
they're just holding good shape again, aren't they? They haven't gone to the ball and they've just got natural shape. Look, they cause all kinds of problems.
Short pass. Oh, he's got over the top of his man there. There's Brad Gill. Just stopped short of that try line though.
You might see Jerry Fields carry this ball here. And there he goes, and knock on.
Sadly got a bit scrappy for Yorkshire there.
Yeah, I think Jamie was on the drop-off play, was going against it, he pushed himself down, but the ball went out the back and went to the floor and they tried to pick it up. But the light's going now, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the light's sort of going here.
Clear on camera.
Is it clear on camera? We're getting told it's clear on camera, but you can look out the camera line and it's
very murky.
It's very murky and cold.
And windy.
And windy.
Other than that, perfect.
Perfect, yeah, I've enjoyed it. Hanley Dawson, he's had a strong game, hasn't he? Full of running, very strong.
I certainly think he's been amongst Cumbria's best performers today. He's Dawson. Saunders moves back into dummy half. Oh, there's a penalty here for Cumbria.
I think that's Connor Saunders kicking the ball out now. But again, look at the difference from the second half to the first half, fully near on 40 metres.
It's just been a shame they've not been able to take much advantage of it, due in a lot of ways to the ferocity of this Yorkshire side.
Definitely, and we haven't seen a lot of football up here, even though Yorkshire have been playing in the wind, and most of the football has been down this end, which is probably credit to the Yorkshire team really, and the game management really. But there's been a spell where it was set knock on, set either side, a lot of errors, and the game settled down a little bit here. Got a chance
Kelly, short ball.
Played out the back there, Dave.
Yeah, to Nelson. Nelson's 35 metres away from the line. Saunders, he'll shuffle it left to McBain. McBain goes off down the left. These prop forwards look like the frustrated second
That's a rip. That's a rip. That. So again, they'll get another set. So we'd like to see Cumbria. They deserve to get over the line here. They've put a lot of effort in. They've been up against it, probably against arguably a better team. But you know, if what they want is some brains rather than brawn. They're throwing a lot of brawn into it, but they just need some smarts. You know,
Saunders trying to provide it. Darts away. Takes on Jack McShane, who wraps him up. 10 metres away. Kelly, he'll send it right. Jackson plays it out the back. Defence looks pretty solid though.
Yeah, and I think they've held up there. But what they don't want to do now is force the pass or force the issue. They're not going to win the game, but they can build some pressure. You know, they can make life easier for themselves by, you know, sitting down here, getting some respectability by maybe getting a try or finishing the game off well, and building again for next year.
Next down this left hand side again with Nelson. Inside the 10 metre mark. Saunders for McBain, big leg drive from him.
On this play, you've had Danny Rouse tying his shoelaces for 4 players and nobody's seen it and nobody's gone at him, so it's one they've missed here, and now they're going at him and the players and the opportunity's gone.
Jackson hoists the kick.
Too easy. 20 metre restart, 7 tackle set, real poor kick, and this is Yorkshire off and running.
He's really charging strongly as well. Good tap, quick tap taken by Gareth Blackburn. He'll play this to Rouse. There'll be a stoppage though. Little knock to the head there of the Cumbrian.
Yeah, so it's a good set all in all, but really poor end of the set, Dave, and let them off. And sometimes you've got to, you know, keep them there, give them the ball where they don't want it. Don't make it too easy for them. I don't know if you're going to score off that play what they put on, but it certainly hurt them when it caught it on the full.
And that was an easy turnover, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah,
giving them 20 metres and an extra tackle.
Exactly. You know, it's a golden rule. No 20 metre restarts, no 7 tackle sets, and then you can't do it no matter what stage the game's at, because all you're doing is punishing your team. You know, you might be getting beat. It's better to get beat by 26 points rather than 36. You know, if that makes sense, you know, and if it's right, I don't know, but you know, it's a bit of pride, and you can finish the game well, get a try on the board, get another try, and maybe get 3 tries in the last 8 minutes. It's possible, and you get some respectability out of the game, but you're not going to do it doing that.
Time added on at the end of this game. 26 points to Cumbria trail. A commanding performance by Yorkshire today. Ball slick left. Here's Elkington, all wrapped up. They're approaching the 40 metre line here though at Yorkshire with menace. Jamie Fields, big surge towards halfway. Goulding tries to wrap him up best as he can. McShane to his left. Oh, there's that influential fullback here, Morgan. 40 metres away from the try line. Yorkshire continue to move forward as Rouse dummies, brings it right. Links with Slater. Slater dabs it into the corner. It's a good kick, that one.
And that is a good kick, isn't it?
Super
what
kick.
A great kick, and that's the difference between the two sides in the kicking game. Just a little bit of quality in the end of set kicks, pressure on the full back. He's got to pick the ball up off a metre off the touch line. When he catches it, the kick chase is real good, and he bundled him into touch. So, you know, great kick, great execution, and you know, good play. Elliott did really well to catch the ball under pressure, but there was not a lot he could do.
Yeah, I just Stockdale was well down the blind avenue then, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just a great quality kick.
So Slater to feed this scrum for Yorkshire. Ball comes out of the base. It's with Rouse. Rouse straightening things up, feeding it out of the back. Step in run. Oh, it's attempted intercept there. It's a knock on.
Yeah, it's a knock on. It's head and feed to Yorkshire. He was knocked down by the Cumbria player. Is it Krellin? He's had a good game. Krellin's lively on his feet.
Very good last week. Scored a crucial try for Cumbria as well.
Yeah, he looks good. Tall as well, rangy. Good footwork.
I'm sure with your knowledge of Cumbrian Rugby League anyway, you wouldn't really need to see a lot of these players, but have you found it useful yourself to
I always because I'm involved. I know Mick Turner's up here again today, and I've got some good friends through Cumbrian Rugby. I always like to watch the Cumbria lads play. I mean, it's difficult to get the West Cumbria lads to come and play for Barrow, but the South Cumbria lads, we always watch them, and now they're developed, especially the young lads that have been on the academy systems and stuff, and then they come and play at this level as a progression. So it's great to watch and keep your feet on the ground, because this is where it's all at. This is where the future of professional rugby lies, is in the amateur game, but people have got to understand that.
And here's Yorkshire on the attack, bringing it down this right-hand side kick. It's a brilliant kick. It's a brilliant finish. And Sam Walsh has made up for putting down those couple of chances in the first half by finally claiming 4 points.
Yeah, and that's the difference between this Yorkshire side. They can hurt you from anywhere. They can hurt you with the run, on the edges. They can hurt you with the run through the middle, and they can play through the middle. But the kicking game as well, this half and in the first half, has been outstanding. And there's probably the quality of what they produce has been probably far superior to the Cumbrian side, especially in the halves. But there's been a lot of endeavour from Cumbria, and credit to the Cumbrian defence that they've had to go to the air in the last 2 tries to get some joy, and they've done that because they can and because they're good enough to do that.
30 points to nil with the kick to come. Well, what's commanded in the final?
Jamie Field, he might be able to rattle this over because he's got some boot on him, and he's a prolific goal scorer, so they've given him the duty a metre off the touchline. Game's over now, I think all the lads are shaking their hands, so they must have been given the nod, and the subs are on, and everyone's shaking their hands, so this must be the last play of the game.
So Fields, can he add an extra 2 points? This would be like the cherry on top, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Yorkshire 30, Cumbria 0. In he steps to Field.
He's got a chance.
He has given it chances.
Oh, unbelievable, just short.
So the final score is 30 points to nil in favour of Yorkshire. Paul, it's been great having you alongside. Thank you very much for all your efforts this afternoon.
Thanks, Dave. Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
It's been a great afternoon of rugby that we've seen, and Yorkshire go forward in this Open Age County Championship, having won by 30 points to nil. Don't go anywhere on our league. Join us again tomorrow, where Steve Manning will bring you full commentary of the under-17s clash between Lancashire and Yorkshire from Milford, and then it's on to Heworth next week for a double header. To Heworth next week for
Mighton,
I think Mighton's in Hull.
Oh, which one's the right one? What is Milford? Sorry.
Terry, stop interrupting me. I'm trying to wind us up here, mate. I want to get home. I want to get warm. So it's finished 30 points to nil here. We have 2 games to bring you next weekend. They're coming from Heworth. We have a game tomorrow from Milford. Steve Manning has all the commentary for that one, so do join us again. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.